You/Lucky asked Reddit, what quietly went away without anyone noticing.
Welcome to
AutoGen Labs.
Daily Reddit content.
By robots.
For the internet.
Voodoo TVS.
Actual toys in cereal boxes and Cracker Jack boxes.
Those red coupon dispensers that used to be inside grocery stores.
Taco Bell used to have a chihuahua as their mascot. Little Dude just disappeared one day, and anyone born after 2000 probably doesn't even know what I am talking about.
Stan Blue Pan. I remember all my classmates and my mom used to use it years ago.
Movie trailers with that deep voice guy doing the voiceovers.
Buying a new game and having a thick chunky manual filled with game lore which you would read before playing and so heighten the anticipation of the game itself.
The net neutrality thingy.
McDonald's all-day breakfast menu.
So B.
Ronald McDonald. Too many people are petrified of clowns.
Ownership. We used to pay money and then the thing actually belonged to us. Now everything is rented or leased. Everything is sold as a service. Music as a service. Movies as a service. Software as a service. Even printer ink as a service. We spent and spent, and in the end we hold nothing in our hands. Edit, you can also subscribe to clothes. Wear new clothes every month but never own them. You can also subscribe to cars. Clothes as a service, cars as a service.
I think people have noticed now, but at the time, nobody noticed it was happening. 24-hour stores. I live in a major city and we don't have a single 24-hour grocery store ever since the pandemic.
My cousin from any family party he ever came to. He was the master of the quiet exit. He would show up, make sure he said hello to everyone, maybe carry a beer around, and then it was like was rich every dang time. He passed away quietly last summer, rep rich. Picture-in-picture TVS.
Service clubs. E.g. the Rotary, the Lions, the Shriners. Oh, they're still around. But a common complaint among them is they've got no members under 70 and no new members are lining up to get in. Edit, the #1 question seems to be, what the beep are these anyways? They're social clubs with the primary objective to be doing projects to better the community. They might raise money to build a new playground, a new hospital, for scholarships, stuff like that. They raise money for staff.
Acid rain. It was a huge environmental issue in the late 70s through the early 90s. Rain was acidic and damaged fertile areas, among other things. In the US, there was much research done and eventually industrial regulations were put into place. Companies were allowed to decide what approach they chose to take as long as the results showed the appropriate amount of reduction in sulfur dioxide emissions. Unfortunately, positive news doesn't sell, so news outlets did not do justice to reporting the success. As we went into the 2000s, hardly anyone remembered what was done.
Google Plus.
Politicians feeling ashamed when they're caught lying.
The American chestnut tree. We sing chestnuts roasting over an open fire every year and yet never question why we have no chestnuts. All the chestnut trees are dead is why, you see.
Waterbeds.
Facebook Poke Wars.
That cost for keyboard typing and stuff.
Anyone remember spinning rims on cars?
HU Trivia.
Beep Hornets.
Gotcha and beep.
The word cyberspace.
When you turn off the TV, how the image would shrink to a dot before slowly fading away.
I want to know beep happened to my salsa verde Doritos.
Jack Nicholson.
Shalim Scavage.
Landlines in residences. The jacks are still in almost any house, but I rarely see anything plugged in anymore. The only people I can think of with them are all over 60.
Flanking.
Free samples. I used to see free sample stands every time I went to a store, now they are gone. I now realise from all the comments that Costco apparently still has them.
BlackBerry phones. Taylor Lautner.
Waffle dropped off of the face of the planet, and now we just go straight from low to beep.
Raspberry Brisk apparently, but I noticed. PepsiCo. I'm not bitter about it. Edit, you have all given me hope I will taste this heavenly juice once again.
Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book.
Flash mobs. Anti-marijuana commercials.
Panama Papers.
Telephone books.
The Sears Wish Book.
Ringtones. Jay-Z said no more and they were done.
The BTV remote stand up, you're probably sitting on Ike.
Public spaces where you have a reasonable expectation that you are not being filmed.
Shin v. Martinez Ramirez, the Supreme Court ruling that reversed the 2012 Martinez v. Ryan ruling that protected the right to a fair trial in cases where ineffective assistance of counsel could be argued to have resulted in guilty verdicts that land innocent people on death row. Arizona took a case to the Supreme Court to challenge this, with the state's counsel stating over and over again that innocence is not enough to overturn cases. The Supreme Court agreed with this. In Clarence Thomas's decision ruling, he states that federal courts lack the competence and authority to relitigate a state's criminal case. So yeah, this ruling not only negates the Supreme Court's previous ruling, it removes remedies for defendants that have not been provided with adequate representation during their trials and afterwards. Basically, it's now up to the defendants to challenge their own counsel's competence during the trial and removes any possibility for ineffective assistance claims to be raised in federal court.
Quality of life.
I put in other MP3 players.
One income supporting a family.
I used to be so social, until I realised I could just disappear without anyone noticing. So I experimented. Nobody ever noticed.
Wallpaper. It used to be everywhere, but at some point, we as a society seem to have come to an unspoken agreement to just stop using it. Which is fine by me, honestly. It was a pain in the beep to put up, and even more of a pain to take down.
Traveller's checks.
Hi.
3D Doritos.
Flash games with in-game purchase.
Sierra Mist I saw the replacement brand in stores last week, but until I read the press release the other day I had no idea Pepsi had discontinued Sierra Mist at all.
Hoverboards.
Amazon Prime 2-day shipping. Sure, it says 2-day when you order it Monday and then it says it'll be there Friday. 2 means 2.
The bugs on the front of grills after road trips.
Payphone booths.
The uproar around devices always listening. Xbox One Connect was an uproar and now you pretty much can't buy a device that isn't always listening.
The old social media format. Today is everything just like TikTok.
Anyone remember playing with Pogs?
Alicia Silverstone. She was in everything in the late 90s, then she was gone.
Travis Scott concert death controversy.
Weenie Babies.
Mike Myers. Dude was a huge star and now he's barely in anything.
In the 80s, there was a big push to get rid of styrofoam packaging, especially at fast food places. And it worked for like 30 years, but now it's back. So business ethics, lol, at least the guild around styrofoam.
Online privacy.
HTC One smartphones.
Monkeypox.
Quality kids meal toys. OG will remember the awesome McD's or Burger King toys we'd get, like mini video games, Legos, and Transformers. We even would get CDs sometimes. An ancient and lost technology to some of you younger kids. Now my son gets cardboard or those bobblehead Funko Pop wannabes.
Coney 2012.
Your purchasing power.
Kmart and Sears.
I can't remember her name, but I believe her last name was Ju. She was one of the top decision makers for Reddit. She was explaining that Reddit would never implement ads into their feed and she was being praised for it. Less than 5 years later.
Answering machines.
Those black plastic buses on 2-litre soda bottles. That was always a grade school Easter basket craft when I was growing up and then proof.
PCBY.
White dog beep. My savings account.
Pickle barrels in the supermarket. TV tube testers in stores.
CD players in cars.
Knowing Gilroy had been here.
Howard Johnson's restaurants.
Q dropped.
Apple bottom sheens. Boots with the fur.
Occupy movement.
Glass screens for monitors. Acid rain.
Pages. Not the restaurant kind.
My dad when I was a kid.
Moritz crackers.
Blueberry morning cereal.
Yo-yos, they were all the rage back in my school as a kid and they just disappeared overnight. Nobody even noticed it was just a fad that died.
Fidget spinners.
Biden aided that stickers on gas pumps after prices fell.
Fear of COVID. Google glasses. Regular street lights with the old yellow bulbs. It's like every single one turned to LED overnight. It sucks because at least with the yellow bulb ones they were warm and welcoming. The bright bluish white LED make everything look cold and soulless.
Cars that are stranded/abandoned on the side of the highway. I used to notice them all the time when I was a kid. They seem to all but disappear after cell phones. It's really rare now and it sticks out when you see it.
Not being watched, measured and monitored 24/7 when we were alone. We were alone in a good, relaxing, common kind of way before we were bombarded by Pavlov rings and notifications every waking moment. It was good. There were times it was really good.
Pet rocks. They don't say much.
Per Brian's beep charge. Dude went from beep back to media darling in a heartbeat. I personally don't have anything against him, but especially after his tragic passing, no one ever mentions the aspect of his legacy.
People calling them camera phones.
Removed.
Disposable cameras.
The American middle class, we know this now that it's too late and all the unions have been shredded.
Zika virus.
My bank account.
Cursive writing.
Didn't Matt Gates pay a minor for beep? Whatever happened to that whole situation?
Being able to afford a home on a normal job with a HS diploma, it went away so quietly that boomers still think this is the reality while being the ones who beeped it up for the rest of us.
Ice bucket challenges.
Common courtesy.
Silly bands.
Biodiversity.
Any charges against any rich person ever.
The dog from the Target commercials.
Daniel Tosh.
Waterbeds I scrolled through 16 comments looking for waterbeds. Didn't see it and saw my chance.
Removed.
5th bar in a Kit Kat candy bar. There used to be 5, damn it. Everyone I know says I can't remember if there was 5. But I know that's right, I know.
Heel shoes.
Face-eating bath salt people.
CNN Plus.
The Epstein-driven hunt for pedophiles.
Asterisk ashtrays and cigarette lighters in cars. Asterisk family encyclopedia sets. Asterisk Rolodexes. Asterisk pantyhose. Asterisk pagers and answering machines. Asterisk checkbooks and checkbook registers.
The hole in the ozone layer.
Stores that are open 24/7.
Thanks for watching. This has been an AutoGen Labs production. That means that this video was created by a robot out of content on Reddit. We show all account names and list them in the description to credit the Redditor community that makes our work possible. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. We post new videos every day. If you have any suggestions for videos you would like to see, please leave a comment. Our Human Department for Public Relations reads all of them, or won't be let out of their cages again. Goodbye.